Oh, yeah! Welcome back, all you four-color funny book aficionados. This is US Comics Cast, HQ for all things comic book connected. We are John and Charlie Rivera, the co-founders of US Comics. Charlie, happy comic book day belated.
Happy Comic Book Day belated to you and to all of you listening and watching along live. As always, we are brought to you today by Bad Mary Band and Sergeant Finesse Gaming. If you've done so already, please hit that comment section like you got a hybrid little baby, half deer, all just fucking spunkiness that you need to keep safe and dear, and you hug it and you say, oh, that's a good little deer boy.
Where did that copy come from? And why would you hit the little baby deer?
Because I keep out of traffic. How are you? You're full.
Gotta watch this kid.
I gotta tell you, man.
There is an alert list that has just been added to.
Fair enough. I love Thursday shows.
Why?
Because you somehow take like whatever excess energy from Wednesday you have that you would normally spend on the show.
That 24-hour.
You take it. You put it in a case. You seal the case, and then you have like Thursday energy. Not as much. But then you open that case and you get both energies, and you come out into the show like a fucking John on fire.
Yeah. You know what that is? Scientifically speaking, that's called lying. Because I am exhausted.
To be fair, anytime the show isn't on Wednesday, someone should assume somewhere you're
there's
wired on so much coffee and you just can barely get through.
It is all facade, man. This is just hollow, cavernous. Hear yourself echo. This is all fake. It's just been crazy busy, Charlie. The new gig is outstanding. I'm still loving the situation, but I've hit that inevitable. Oh, this is a job. This is not just fun time.
Yeah.
In summer camp for Johnny Boy. It was extra, man. These last few days have been extra, but I'm out of it. I feel stronger for having gone through it.
Nice.
I know that any bumpiness ahead down the road can definitely be navigated, no problem.
I hate that you were so tired because simultaneous to you working hard,
tired?
I was like watching AAW. I'm on all sorts of fucking chat rooms on AOL talking about like fuck Star Wars, but I swear it's not because I hate broads. I also had an opportunity I don't often get, and that's like I went to
so many jokes.
How dare you?
So many jokes.
How dare you? I went to the movies in the classic Charlie way. Not even considering bringing someone.
Oh, nice.
Like, one of my happiest things is you go on the app. I'm a member of that club. And I'm like, pick your seat. Like, I can pick any fucking seat I want. What's the seat?
Ooh, it's furthest from me.
Furthest from humanity. I don't want someone in my row. I treat it like I don't want anyone in my tic-tac-toe. I don't want them across from me. I don't want them in front of me, behind, to my left, or my right.
I don't want to smell what they're eating from my seat.
Even if it's delicious. Fuck yourself.
If it's in the movie theater, it is delicious. But Charlie, I do want to say this. As much fun as you are having Dolo in the movie theater, we are rapidly approaching the get comfortable on your couch at home TV watching season, because there are 2 guaranteed bangers coming back to the small screen, and I know for me, my number one right now, and amongst a lot of options, House of the Dragon is coming back, baby. Are you team red, or are you team black, or are you team green? What's it going to be? I cannot wait. Reading that history textbook of the Targaryens, those many years ago, I sat there thinking, oh, this is gonna make a good series, and I was so right. I'm so excited. So excited.
I'm a trash person because once again,
either way,
you got home damn near to midnight.
Just literally dragging myself in over the.
I took a nap till like 3 a.m. and I woke up and I was like, you know what else is back? Come on, the boys. Let's get back to
the boys are back in town.
murdering.
Here it is.
When I'm in a bad mood, I'm on Homelander's team. So this is not just the 4th of July look. This is me repping.
Are you Homelander Jr. right now?
Homeboy is what I'm going with. I think it'll really work.
Homeboy Lander.
Exactly. So definitely next week we know we're gonna talk.
Yeah, no.
Like preview. We're talking The Boys. Drop 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So what I thought was gonna be like a 1-hour non-nap. I thought I was like, nah.
And those 3 episodes are probably gonna be a few minutes shorter than the first episode of the new season of House of the Dragon.
What I love about House of Dragons too is now you get a whole new appreciation because I already loved her, but fucking Supergirl is in it. And like once you wear an S shield, that's all you are to me.
She is and she's not because she played the same character in her younger.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like a flashback. So it could be like,
what's
up, Supergirl?
I mean, we're talking about a world where you have to watch out for dragon dropping. Yeah. It's like, oh, and then you're covered from head to toe. Like, oh no, I heard that's good luck. Good luck for you, because they didn't hit you. You were standing next to me.
I will say, I do think with dragon poop, it wouldn't be one person. Like if you're near me, I'm not just getting dragon pooped on. That's the village.
If you get hit with dragon poop, you can probably see another person in there. You're like, oh, George, I told you not to walk so close to the moat.
I do love that Christian on Facebook. He hits us with that positive energy. He's quoting the show already. Yeah. The show's a couple. Ellis Christian shows up. Ellis shows up on a Thursday.
First time in a week.
He should be working. He shows up and he goes, Dad, the kid's old. I'll show you an old kid, motherfucker.
Well, that's the thing. And Ellis, thank you so much for
ageist.
Thank you so much for teasing us into the topic, because there has already been some must-watch TV on that small screen. I mean, 65 inches. That's not small potatoes.
Here's the thing. I think there's too much television.
Well,
I think that you, sir, need to fucking pause your jets. It's not House of Dragon season yet.
It's already Thursday.
I'm not even authorizing you to watch The Boys yet, because I think we start off fucking the right way. We're not going to talk about new shit. We're going to talk about old, recycled shit that I would argue is named poorly. John.
So we're just going to do something different than what we agreed to. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Sweet Tooth was the main event.
Nope. You suggested it, and I said, remember, you actually insulted me.
No, then you said the opposite thing.
No, it's all right. Let's go. Next time we're going to start recording pre-shows too.
No, I will not be insulted. We will talk Sweet Tooth then.
No. These poor people, they're being yo-yoed around.
Let's be honest. They deserve it. They deserve it. I did not know.
Are you saying that Ellis really runs the show?
Ellis runs the show.
Is that what you're saying?
The executive. He's
Ellis,
actually.
Congratulations.
He's been the executive producer the whole time.
He's been Charlie, just working the Angels.
Exactly.
Hello, Angels.
Did you know Sweet Tooth was ready to drop? Netflix is the only streamer that makes money, and I never fucking know when anything's coming out.
Credit where credit's due. So we record from the luxurious Nerd Studios, which is located in our mother's house.
It's true.
I come for free food. Charlie comes to pick up his packages. But then also, as well as we decide, since we're already here, let's record a podcast.
All my shit's here.
It was Mom who told us. She's like, yeah, Sweet Tooth. There's a dead-on Mom.
Our other executive producer.
Yeah. The double executive producer. So she mentioned that Sweet Tooth was actually back, and literally, I was aghast. I was like, I can't believe I've been beaten to the punch. But yeah, no, she's the one who hit me to it.
What do you look like when you're aghast? Can I see it? Oh, for those of you that are watching,
oh my!
This is
oh my!
This is why you tune in.
My perils
on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. It's to see what John looks like aghast.
Yeah, well,
packaging.
What about you?
Fuck no, I didn't know that this was the final season. I didn't know that it was still gonna come out.
We'll talk about that.
I also fully expected, like Ellis alluded to. Yeah. I was like, this fucking little kid's gonna look. I thought he was gonna
have a beard.
Was it full and you could justify it. Like,
no,
yeah,
you can
the deer babies grow fast.
The little chin beards. No, so and Charlie, we had the same reaction. It looks like the kids are It looks like they just filmed season 3 immediately after season 2.
I was elated because there's nothing more jarring than a cute little Sweet Tooth show up and he's like, "Yo, big man."
Can you imagine
Yes.
if our boy
Cigar.
Sweet Tooth, he's a foot and a half taller than Big Man. He's totally thinned out, which would be comic book accurate. I'll
That's
say
true.
that.
That's true.
But then if he's like, "Oh, I think they're coming down the road, Big Man."
You know,
Also, as well as he has to sleep on the other side of the encampment.
the problem with the reason that would be a double heartbreak is this is like one of the only child actors
Yeah.
that, like, when they're performing, I get lost in the performance and not just mad that it's not like the 70s where 35-year-olds were playing like preteens.
Or if you're gonna have the balls to be a child actor, you had to smoke. You had to go to Studio 54 and know how to party. You had to drink everybody under the table.
I did not know 90210.
Those are the days.
I had no idea that 90210 was supposed to be about high school kids. I'm like, that can't be accurate. Like, it can't be accurate.
Yeah, no, that was absurd.
Just full
like
beards.
what is this, Grease? They look like teachers putting on they were doing cosplay.
Someone just did a
50s cosplay.
meme, and it was like, this clearly 45-year-old man was supposed to be 16.
A joke.
Other than the cast surprising me by not aging like milk.
Yeah.
And they may have filmed back to back, and just everything's a secret to me now.
Charlie, he said the little rosy glow on his plump little cherub cheeks.
The show to me didn't miss a beat. I think Sweet Tooth is one of those shows that if it were on a CBS, if it were on an HBO, I feel like people would talk about it significantly more.
Well,
than they do. I find
Netflix
it weird.
Is not a nothing. They're not a third world country. But what I do think is weird is within Netflix, it doesn't really get that push, right?
It's
so
not
you
like
have
on
to
the banner even.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You have to kind of like sweep through it, and the critics love the show. So this isn't one of those on the fence shows or niche shows. Critics absolutely love it, and audiences, because again they're largely dumb, they like it, right? They like it. It was not one of those questionable like review bomb shows, and
he eats so little sweets. This title is misleading. Do you think someone thought that this was a sequel to Baby Reindeer? Does that like took over the internet? We're like, was this the reindeer that woman was stalking?
Is this their love child? Like, is that actually how Baby Reindeer ends?
No! What a twist!
It's not.
What a twist! I think
very much.
I couldn't be more excited that it's back. So much so.
Wait. Have you not finished it?
No, I'm
what?
Taking my time. When I watch Sweet Tooth
for the first time in ever,
John, I sit down.
You're taking your time.
I sit down. I get the temperature just right. I dim all the lights like I'm watching in a movie.
Oh, you light a candle.
Exactly. It's one of those. Real good. It's one of those things now that I've been told, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe it's not true.
Well, depends. But tell me what it is that you're under the impression.
Everyone was saying that this is the final season, so I wanted to like fully enjoy it.
Interesting.
I wanted to fully enjoy it. Everyone said that this is the wrap-up season. Oh. And for me, oh God, this face. It's, leave the memories alone. Like I am having
what the fuck song is that?
You know that? You don't know that song?
Leave the memories alone?
Yeah. They play it a lot with like wrestling.
Oh, that's why I don't know it.
I couldn't tell you.
100% not a real song.
I guarantee you right now Ellis is singing along. It is a real song. It's some pop bullshit.
Just because Ellis is singing along to a song doesn't make it a real song.
He's in his jorts and his bright orange Cena shirt, and he's leaving those memories alone. Maybe it's don't leave the memories alone. I don't know the lyrics. Crap. I don't know what's happening.
He has no idea what to do with the memories, Charlie. Do I leave them alone? Do I not leave them alone? Like, what's socially acceptable now? Like, I don't want to go to HR.
I absolutely, I just love it.
Charlie, please come down. We have a memories issue to deal with.
How dare you?
If Christian hasn't remixed that song 42 times, it's not a real song.
Fair enough. I don't want the party to end. And also, it's been so long since I read Sweet Tooth. I don't remember how the book ended.
Oh god. All right. So this is what happens, guys. But in all seriousness, and I'm glad you broached that topic within the topic. Sweet Tooth has done an effect, to a lesser degree, has done a Walking Dead.
Okay.
Where they're like, all right, so this is clearly the reason why we're doing this. And if you watch carefully and you partook of the comic, first of all, congratulations, because I right here on this program recommended that you friggin' do so,
Seasons
which
go.
means
Not
that you
season two.
listen to this guy and to read what I tell you to read.
My God.
Yeah, no.
Have you been ethnic this whole time?
You know?
All-
you really don't see color, man.
all
Good
your
for you.
all
Good for
your
you.
Greek fans are gonna be so disappointed.
They're gonna be like,
He did it again. If you're watching, you saw the face.
That's a 2 pearl clutch show, guys. But yeah, so I recoed the comic book, and I'm so glad that I did.
Ew.
Yeah, I did it.
Recode.
Bro, that's the internet speech.
Ew, I hate your Thursday
Charlie,
John.
You know that the show's on the internet, right?
Thursday John's the word. Some people watch
The
this.
interweb.
What do
No,
you
no.
want?
There's like 1, 2, 3. But so yeah, so they did a Walking Dead, and they said, yes, we're actually absolutely gonna start this way. All the Will Forte stuff is like 1-for-1. And then they kind of like they did a deviation, and you can really see exactly when it happens. And at that point, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Right. The names are familiar, looks are familiar, situation is familiar, but they can kind of tell the story that they want to tell. That's why when you sign over the rights, that's exactly what happens. And I've loved where they go. So they have already gone past where the comic ends.
Beautiful.
They kept on telling stories.
Maybe that's why I'm like, I don't fucking remember this.
It's just really, really well done. And I have loved it. I've loved every second that I've watched.
The only criticism that you could, in my opinion, that you could justifiably launch at Sweet Tooth,
Venison.
Delicious.
What
venison.
do they taste like? What do these hybrids taste like?
Check?
Look,
I'll take a check.
just for the record,
John,
I hope that this doesn't get me in trouble.
Oh,
but
you're going on a list.
I'm already on the list.
Here's the
Let's be
problem.
honest.
You're not asking what they taste like. You're asking what human tastes like because they're hybrids.
No,
So, like,
no, see, you're wrong.
Before you got enlightened,
No, you've
had
wrong.
pork.
You're wrong.
You just want to know what a black girl tastes like now.
I know. I already
The
know.
pink girl's not black.
I know what humans taste like.
Pardon?
Because I have logicked it out.
How that doesn't.
Logicked it out.
Go ahead.
Remember in math.
New subject.
In
John's
math,
creepy
when
bullshit.
you're doing they're like, oh, it's math, numbers and stuff, right? No, just letters, and you have a table, and that's how you're gonna figure out this problem.
John is gonna red pill by the end of the show.
We'll have another episode.
No, you can't. What the fuck are you talking about?
So I can't just say humans taste like pork. I can't just
No,
put
you
that out
can.
there.
But then what you're saying is, so pork girl tastes just like regular pork. There's no extra porkiness.
Please don't ever say that sentence again. In ever. Well, no, my question is the hybrid animals.
What the fuck did I miss? Ellis on Facebook just took out a rocket launcher at my brother. What the fuck, Ellis? We're having fun. John knows what humans taste like from having Disney's balls in his mouth before every episode. Every episode of what? This isn't a Disney show. What did I miss?
You don't know about that other podcast I do? Oh, snap. There's a lot of
Mom saying don't talk about pigment. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
But no, my point is
What's
this.
the Disney reference?
It is.
When do you...
It's Ellis.
The fucking guy has Star Wars bed sheets on for
But-
the new trilogy.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
what are we doing?
We're both cool in that department. No, so it's like a bacon and chicken sandwich, right? So you're like, well, it's that taste combination.
You go back to it.
Yeah, no, it was a legitimate question. You don't leave something like that on the table.
Did you have a Lucas shot without me? What the fuck is happening, John? Can I somewhat right the ship? How impressive?
Good luck.
How impressive is the practical work being done?
You could just watch his little ears
emote
and being caught by the sun from behind. It's a gorgeous show. Like that No one can.
I hate serious face.
Well, like,
You have full
I mean,
serious-
Charlie.
You was just like park me.
It's a gorgeous show. It's sincere. It's a beautifully done show, and it is they take it seriously, man. Okay, maybe
Do
take
you
a
think
note.
there was a writer room conversation of like, I gotta fucking say it? What do these hybrids taste like? Sweet Tooth.
I know that there would have been.
Sweet Tooth superpower
Yeah.
to me is how they're able to be so fucking earnest
Yeah.
without it becoming
Cheesy.
It doesn't ever feel like a book report. I also couldn't tell you what Sweet Tooth does not have an obnoxious
Brother
message. I'm gonna let the creaky chair do the work. How dare you? Were so happy to play that card. Yo, he's patting himself on the back. Son of a bitch. What I do like is this show under a weaker writer's room.
Yeah.
I think would have devolved into like hurting animals is bad.
Like,
Which is clearly some of the messaging.
if this show had been on the WB,
Oh my god.
people would have thrown things through their television sets. No, yeah, it's completely earnest. And what I think, at least, the clear disparity between 2 and 3 was that shit gets real. I mean, as real as hybrid kids can be, but like the stakes go way up.
Yeah.
There are like serious moments, and yeah, you could say, oh well, this person died or that person died, and well, when it's kind of handled in such a way that it's flashbacks or it's a secondary storyline, primary storyline, you are witnessing things happen and you are seeing it register on their faces. So when you talk about these kids being just great actors, great little actors, great actors that happen to be shorter than the actors standing next to them, it really makes a difference. And then when something serious happens, unlike, for example, and I hate to throw children under the bus, but they're adults now, so I will do so. I got taken out of something like Good Omens,
Okay.
which I love in its written form, and that for the most part I loved on the small screen. But I won't specify, but some of the portrayals I was just watching, and I'm a mouth agape, and I'm like and then somebody will hit the screen like, and it just takes me out of it. That does not happen. It borderline happens with Sweet Tooth, but it's for the opposite reason. You sit there thinking, this little sucker is so good at what they are doing right now. Like, you want to applaud in the middle of a scene.
And what's
but
funny,
you don't, because it's TV.
What's really funny about, like, the only time I've ever experienced that sort of feeling where like the child actor was outshining their adult counterpart, the first time, now she's kind of famously, in my circle, she's most famous for being in Ghostbusters, but the little girl who plays Phoebe was in a Netflix horror series, and she was a top 3 actor, constantly working with a adult actor who played, I think, her mom, who was just very, very not as capable with what was put in front of them. Again, I'm not trying to lower one to raise another.
The material has a lot to do with that as well, because writers, they want to make sure a certain character's arc is coming across and is important, and all of that jazz. But yeah, no, I fully agree. If you have a great child actor and a mediocre adult actor, there's also that disparity.
It's like jarring.
But it's really not the case with this show. It's so well cast. It's as well cast as it is shot, and it's shot beautifully. So do the math.
What do you think it is about do you feel like Sweet Tooth is like secretly, obviously it's a successful show.
Yeah, well,
I don't think if the metric of just everyone who watches it digs it. We got MacGruber playing the dad, as Ellis points out.
Yes.
Visually, it has never, from what I'm seeing on the screen, there's never been a time where Netflix has given them less money, because every season looks, if anything,
either that
a little bit better,
or they know how to stretch a buck better.
Or they know how to stretch a buck. Do you think that there is something missing from the show that prevents it from being talked about the way a Stranger Things is?
I do.
Hit me. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to give you the first opportunity to answer that same question.
Sure. I just think anything that isn't on the nose obvious as like what the point of this is other than existing.
Okay.
Sweet Tooth, I think its superpower is also the thing it probably does weakest if you're looking for it, is trying to jam subtext into their text. Like for me, Sweet Tooth is this like wonderful narrative that I'm enjoying the absolute hell out of, and my brain doesn't try to connect other dots because I'm just enjoying it too goddamn much. If that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense.
That does make sense. I have a little bit of a different take. I think the reason why it is not water cooler conversation necessarily, even though we're spending all day at the water cooler, just waiting for people
with like fake horns on. And I chopped one off.
Yes, that's true. So I'm thinking like one of those hats with the horns built in. No. What the reason why I think that it is not as much a topic of conversation as maybe some other things is because there's really nothing objectionable to it.
Interesting.
It's not one of those shows or subject matters or conversations that is a hard line in the sand where I'm going to be over here and you're going to be over there and never the twain shall meet. That's just kind of like where we're living societally right now, where like it needs to be tribal. Every fucking thing in the world is tribal warfare.
Wow. Right? That's a bummer. I didn't think of that. It makes a lot of sense, and it's a fucking bummer. That's
sincerely what I think. So you have certain shows, and it's even movies or commercials. You're not allowed to just say, I'm not a fan. That wasn't for me. If you say the wrong thing, all of a sudden it's like a holy war.
What's really funny too is this show, the co-lead is black. There's almost all the other secondary characters are female. Like most of the characters on the show are ladies. Mm-hmm. Again, co-star, black guy, and it's not a topic of discussion.
No, it's again.
And if someone were searching for a reason to bitch, I feel like you could be like 70% of the cast is ladies.
Mean, but truly, for someone to come with that conversation, you just need to sit back and think.
So correct me if I'm wrong, you do kind of feel like the show about the half human, half deer boy. Yeah. If someone were like, sure are a lot of vaginas on set, like they just out themselves. It just winds up. Do you think it's too obvious if they were like, I don't like that the black guy's so strong? Be like, all right, we get what you're saying, racist Steve.
Yeah, I probably would able to ID that guy when he pulled up in his truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
truck nuts.
Here we go.
He does not have a Tesla Cybertruck, but he has the Cyber Nuts because they're available online. I think what's great about that though, because it makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, I'm very smart.
In this era of streaming, the streaming war died. Everyone lost somehow in the streaming wars.
What do you mean?
I just feel like no one company like was the victor. Netflix is really the only one that turns an obvious profit, but it's not like Disney Plus is going away. It's not like Paramount Plus is going away. Like all these motherfuckers like their little bit of money.
They got bills to pay.
What's cool though is like when this show is a complete package, which may or may not be at the end of this fucking season, because now I'm so intrigued.
Oh yeah.
What's cool is that's how you sell stuff. That's a TV show. You don't really want to sell some seasons when you rent it out. So like this will have another life on HBO.
You don't want to be watching a beloved show that has 8 seasons,
motherfuckers,
and then you only get 4.
Ironically, looking at you, Netflix, you ass dicks. What's amazing is I do think Sweet Tooth will live a very interesting few months on HBO one day. Like when the show is a complete package, this is what they do. They rent it out to other streamers,
which is so bizarre,
so weird. You know what kills me? I also am an asshole. I thought nice. How are you gonna tell the people?
Home run!
How are you gonna tell the people what kills me?
Charlie's kryptonite.
What's funny is like I fell for it. I have HBO. I've never not had HBO. My whole adult life, the minute I couldn't pay for a service, I was like, "Give me that HBO, baby." John, I rewatched Ballers on Netflix.
That is so
Ballers
bizarre.
is just okay, and I watched.
No, I like Ballers.
Me too, but it's not like some fucking life-changing show. I watched that whole bitch on Netflix like it was a new show. Like they were gonna cut the like we changed the ending.
What was your first?
He doesn't own football now.
What was your first real binge show for like streaming?
You on streaming or first binge or both?
Streaming. Binge on streaming.
My first binge on streaming
or on demand, like
yes, super boring. Answer. My first binge was How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, that is boring.
Like top. You know what the second one was? It's even worse. The Office. Like my first 3.
You basic bitch.
My first 4 binges in order was so first up. Yeah, first up was How I Met Your Mother, then The Office, then Parks and Rec, then Scrubs.
Did you just Google?
I was just like,
most popular shows.
What is the right answer?
I want to be able to have
question?
a fucking hey, did you see conversation?
Well, what about you,
Applebee's?
fucking fancy pants? Would you go back and rewatch fucking Cheers, all 900 episodes?
No,
you hipster douche.
I'm a class act, bro. So my first
Mad Men. I'm guessing.
Nope.
Oh, okay, you said classy, so I assumed
Rome.
Ew.
Rome on
Get
HBO.
off the fucking podcast.
Whoa.
No one has heard of Rome.
Well, they should have. So see, in Italy,
Now Spartacus.
there's Spartacus
There's
was up
boobs in
there.
Spartacus. There are boobs in Rome.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
I know what
there
I'm
are.
binging next.
Yes, there are. But in any case, to right the ship yet again, yeah, man, like Sweet Tooth, for some reason, for all the success and accolades that it has gotten, I cannot really find anyone that has a bad word to say about it. It's still not the fucking it should be an elk at this point, and it's still just a little Sweet Tooth, a little rosy cheeked Sweet Tooth.
Do you find it a little disappointing you have no one to argue with? Like, there's not someone who's like, fuck Sweet Tooth. Because I don't at all.
Not really, because again, I don't have your propensity for arguing. Like Charlie he's like, all right, takes out his fork and his knife, his little napkins around his fucking neck. He's like, let me now tell you all the reasons why you're wrong. Now, more so, I use it as an identifying marker.
That's
so
true.
they're like, oh, I don't like Sweet Tooth. I'm like, okay,
see,
this person is a moron. Then I move on with my life.
The truth is, what I really want out of life isn't to have the debate. What I'm looking for is John is nodding his head in agreement. I am not. First of all, don't point to like clearly my crotch you're pointing at. Ellis asked if we're
really not that clear.
If we're furry, rude. If we're furries because we like Sweet Tooth. We like the human half. You son of a bitch. For me, what I really like is I like having the conversation, because when I don't like something, I really, in a perfect world, I would be convinced why I'm wrong. So like the version of the conversation I like to have, and I'm lucky enough that I have a lot of acquaintances that do. I have friends who didn't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And like that was a fun conversation to sit them down and be like,
all Bruce Lee's daughter?
Yes, they were there. It was a conglomerate of
I get it.
Her. For me, that is what makes this shit so fun. What's happened the last few years?
It used to be fun.
And that's what I still search like a dummy.
Yeah.
And then I'm shocked when it turns out everyone's a fucking dillhead.
Yeah, no, it's you're right. It has completely changed. Now it's, if you're not with me, you're against me mentality over the most trivial things. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I'm dying.
If we all went into the restaurant, same restaurant, and we didn't quote unquote like or we're not cool with the people who didn't order the exact same thing on the menu that you did, guess what? That thing is now going to skyrocket, and everything else is going to go off the menu.
Yeah,
and that's not a great situation.
Yeah, or you'll be accused of being a fucking cuck for Disney. I do not know where this Disney cuckery threats you're getting.
Poor
I'm just
Ellis.
glad it's not me.
Ellis has been hurt by Disney and hurt by Disney and hurt by Disney. It's like he stood online all day in 142 degrees weather to get to the front of the line on Pirates of the Caribbean, and then just before little Ellis is about to step on the ride, they're like, oh, no, sorry. It's broken. Your fast pass is no longer good. Come back tomorrow for another $700. So Ellis, I understand, man. I get it.
Park's closed, buddy. Park's closed.
Terrible.
You know, the truth is, my final thought on it is just Sweet Tooth is one of those shows that I think the legend will grow.
I think so,
So like, why the fuck not watch it now when you'll be able to kind of when it is on HBO and everyone's like, if you guys fucking heard of Sweet Tooth, it's so good. Apparently it's started on Netflix. You can be like, heard about it.
Or when they
Fucking love
say, "Oh, it's only 3 seasons, right?" And you say, "Is it though?
Is it dough? That's the spinoff.
Oh,
I like it.
Dough?
I like it.
I don't like it.
What's your final thought, pal?
Look, man. If we have ever talked about some stuff that you were on the fence about, or you were actively like, nah, I'm gonna give it a pass, and our enthusiasm for something made you have that second thought and say, maybe I will indeed check it out. And then you thought, wow, these two ugly son of bitches were right about something for once. Thanks for doing it. Let this be the one. And if you watch this show and you don't like it, I fucking think you're lying. Just like a certain Ellis Earmuffs, just like a certain chinless, beard-having, selling your life's work for a pittance son of a bitch, just like George Toy Boy Lucas. Because Charlie, one thing is undeniably true. Tell a good people what it is.
Because Han shot first.
Salute.
I poured these too high.
Oh no. Oh no.
Our punishment was that shot. Ellis's punishment was he went to Disney as a kid and Eeyore punched him. Imagine getting Eeyore pissed off. Ellis, I'm gonna need that full story next time.
Ellis, did he say, "Oh poo," and then just punch you right in the mush? Because yeah, I would have a problem with Disney if that was the case. Also,
fair enough. Hey, John,
I'm crying.
Do you? What are your feelings generally speaking?
I don't feel anything because that shot was poured so tall.
Speaking of shots, what do you think about shots of the Miami sign? You know, when you're in Miami and you got a crane. Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die. Because remember a few years ago when all the sequels didn't want to call themselves by their number? Yeah, they were like, we'll call this movie Bad Boys for Life. And they blew it.
I blame Vin Diesel for that one.
They fucking blew it because Bad Boys 4 is Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die instead of Bad Boys for Life. John,
they should have just kept on going down all the lyrics to the song because nobody knows the lyrics. That's a full Bad Boy 6. No one knows the words. Nobody.
Bad Boys 12. John, I am a fucking sucker for sequels.
Yeah.
However, even I have hit a sequel and been like, meh. And a couple years ago, there was a pandemic era movie.
Yeah.
That I was so fucking excited to see.
Yes.
Will Smith pre-slap. Martin Lawrence.
But not pre-cuck.
Not pre-cuck. Post-cuck. Martin Lawrence. Post, fella lady incident. Post his troubles. Martin Lawrence is back. Him and Will are going to revitalize the summer blockbuster.
Okay.
But they're going to do it with a story 6 other movies have done. Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life is the full name of that fucking movie. Introduced Ammo, the new young fucking hot gun squad. Vanessa Hudgens, some beefcake blonde guy, some beefcake Asian guy, some hot chick that used to smash Will Smith's character but no longer smashes him.
Hold on, let me assume the position for this franchise as I see it. Entertain me.
Fair.
I dare you.
So I don't want to give too much behind the scenes, but you and I were talking about Bad Boys the other day, and I said the public consensus is that Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 2, has no subname. Bad Boys 2, everyone says, is the best Bad Boys.
Yeah, who are those everyone's?
The internet.
That's nonsense.
Yeah, the first
Bad Boys is my favorite Bad Boy.
The problem is the first Bad Boys is the only Bad Boys with Téa Leoni in a micro mini. And if you do not have Téa Leoni in a micro mini, you're disqualified from being the best anything. Like Twister, the movie Twister. There's going to be a Twister 2. Téa Leoni.
No, I didn't think you were talking about the movie Twister. I thought there was one outside on Long Island.
Nice. Téa Leoni's in neither of those films in a micro mini. They cannot be the best Twister. Twister the Ride's the best Twister because I bet Téa Leoni at one point visited.
There is a flying cow.
Is it named Téa Leoni and is it wearing a micro mini?
It's wearing a micro mini.
Technically,
it is a micro mini, just like it hasn't been left up.
Fair enough. John, Bad Boys 4, Bad Boys Ride or Die. Not a film that I was like geeked up about, right?
Really? So I would have thought that, well, only because of Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3 said, well, not even Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys 2, to me, we're already trending down. Bad Boys 2 was not some flick that I was like, I only got 2 hours.
So you're
Which
not,
Bad Boys am I putting in?
All right, so just to be real clear, you are not of the opinion, clearly,
yes,
because I just got here, that Bad Boys 2 is the superior Bad Boys.
I think Bad Boys, thus far, if you add the numbers,
I thought one of his lists is coming.
They are going in the fuck order. You do not need to question.
You think the one is less than that?
I think one is the best, 2 is the second best,
okay.
3rd was a distant 3rd, and I expected 4th.
They could have named them that way, like Bad Boys 5, not as good as Bad Boy 4.
Bad Boys 6, meh. So for me, it was
Bad Boy 7. Why are you back?
Bad Boys 8. Thanks, I guess. For me, there was a certain void in the summer season, and I really have it in my head that, and some news broke yesterday that maybe I'm fucking wrong. We were talking about it a little bit last week. The theater may not be around in the form it will be forever. So for me, I had the couple of hours. I wanted to get out of the house. I said, fuck it. Let me go see Bad Boys 4. Worst case scenario, I happened to find Will Smith and Martin Lawrence together. Charm City.
They have such a great dynamic. And as somebody like myself, who was big fans of them as, separate tastes, I didn't know that they were going to taste great together.
Yeah.
Right? But they absolutely did. I can still remember being a young kid and sitting in the movie theater for the first time that I saw those trailers. There was a time, Charlie, where the first time you saw a trailer was in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know the movie was coming. Like, oh snap. And it's that I can describe it to a T. It's that slow motion where they kind of like stand up straight.
Yes.
And you kind of you see one, I'm like, oh snap, it's Martin. Oh my God, I wonder if Sinead is gonna be there. Oh my God. And then Will Smith picks his head up, and the fucking Charlie, the audience lost their mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were there to see, the actual feature, but I can tell you that the trailer for the original Bad Boys was what everybody was talking about walking out of that theater. I remember that moment.
And it's that fucking little bit of magic where it's obviously going to be an action comedy.
What?
But when you have two guys who are not notoriously known for kicking ass, and suddenly you're like, Martin is going to whip some ass? Martin, that was so fucking exciting. And I was the perfect age where the show Martin is this show proves I'm cool and hip.
You were in that moldable era of personality.
Fuck yes.
Where Charlie just walks in, he's slapping somebody on the ass, taking food off their plate.
I also feel like that's a fork in the road personality wise. Are you going to be Martin Lawrence style of cool, which is you're going to kind of make fun of yourself first, so that like you can't make fun of me. I already made fun of myself, fuckface. I'll put on a wig, eat a dick.
I got the ears. They're like angels' wings.
Yes,
flap flap.
Or you're gonna be Will Smith, which is like you always have a comeback if someone tries to shit on you. You're the coolest mother. You ran in the first Bad Boys. Will Smith runs. If you actually use the landmarks as an indication, he runs like 45 miles just the whole time, sprinting his fucking ass off. John, I am part of the UBN generation. Fucking in a world where Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are going to kick some ass and chew some bubblegum. So when I tell you my obsession with the first Bad Boys, that's a yearly watch for me at minimum.
Yeah.
Bad Boys to me is like a Point Break level. This is just, I feel fucking good every time. He's eating the it's also one of those movies like I fucking quote and no one knows the fuck I'm talking about.
I do.
Because it's the most innocuous quotes. So like having a bologna sandwich and be like, well, that's actually many parts of an animal. They take like the hooves and that's actually what probably turned you pescatarian. Taya Leone fucking. Then it's like, I'll have the pickle. Is the pickle okay? Oh, there's a lot of salt. Just dunking a pickle in a soda.
I can barely taste the salt.
Is my favorite shit ever. It's just so goddamn good. So for me, this is seeing future installments of Bad Boys was like visiting old friends who lost the beat, who lost a bit of the magic because the first Bad Boys.
But if you look at them, both of these gentlemen are coming off of like really duty chapters.
Yeah.
If you look at their life as a book, like they're coming off some lows.
And the slap is a bitch. Like the slap fucked up.
He slapped him like a bitch.
He did. And it was like there is a certain amount of public wanting to punish anyone who's successful. Like even if these, let's be honest. If I was putting myself
that's a hot take.
If I was putting myself in a judgy place, which I'm not. This is just for fucking the show.
Yeah.
But if I were to sit and judge any other human, they've made some mistakes. It would be fair to say
just walks in the door.
Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have not been fucking perfect in their life endeavor.
No, they have. They've had some. Look, not every movie can be Black Knight. All right.
Is there anyone with a more like questionable IMDb than Martin Lawrence? One of the greatest television shows ever. Oh, that's a good point.
Nicolas Cage, have you heard of him?
Touche. Well, I will say this about Martin Lawrence. Never seemed like he was doing a movie just to pay a bill. Like it didn't seem like, fuck, I got my tax bill. Let me do Big Mama's House 6. Like even that, they cut off at 2.
You don't think that's why? That was.
I think Big Mama House 1 was done for like, this will be funny. And 2 was like, this will get me paid. But I don't think he did a Big Mama's House 3.
There are like 6 movies released in that same year.
Back in the bra.
That could have been
basically
all Big Mama Houses.
House. Big Mama House I. All I know is I needed this situation to be exactly what it was to get me to go see a movie that probably in 2 months will be on video on demand.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I am coming from a completely different place where that moment of bam, 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 bam trailer, whatever their version of trailer is, and I didn't even know this movie was on the horizon. I didn't know this movie was being
I didn't
made.
hear about.
I didn't know this movie was being released.
As opposed to 3, I feel like there was a big fucking talk about 3.
So it came up just kind of like a natural conversation. Oh, this movie is blah blah blah. I had 0.0 compulsion to drag my ass to go see the movie. And if you're right, and in a few weeks' time it is already streaming, I still might not commit the 2 hours.
Well, let me set you straight. Because I don't know shit. I don't know nothing about nothing.
No,
because in preparation for
verify that.
In preparations for Bad Boys 4, because I was not going to go to see it, I said, let me pop on Bad Boys. I love fucking Bad Boys. I haven't watched it in 2024.
Yeah, it's like a yearly.
John, Bad Boys in 2024, the best it's ever been. The action is as good as it's ever been. It's the soundtrack. John, I spent the next 2 days listening to the fucking album. That shit is titty, stratty. John, the first Bad Boys is like, it's a hot summer day and you got to jump in a pool. It is fucking awesome. It's better than it's ever been for
Are
me.
you saying that it's noise?
It's it is not. It's so much
Really?
so. I was in such a headspace the day after watching Bad Boys.
Yeah.
I went, I need more, and I'm not just gonna rewatch fucking Bad Boys. Let me fucking throw on Bad Boys because I don't think Bad Boys 2 is bad. I just don't think Bad Boys 2 is.
Bad.
I think Bad Boys.
Them driving through a literal neighborhood.
Oh, and the fucking H2, which was just so.
in like at that time, new Hummer.
But I will say this because I think it's important. I didn't love that they replaced the Porsche 911 Turbo with a Ferrari. Like, so right away, them making shit better, to me, was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Martin Lawrence's house is like now this palatial estate. So for me, don't get me wrong, rewatching Bad Boys 2, I was like, fuck yeah, man, this movie rules. I couldn't help but play executive producer of like, isn't the fucking shitty police precinct iconic? Like, the stuff they brought back I thought was cool. The stuff that they introduced I thought was fine, but it did feel like a reduction. What really fucking blew me away on the other side of Bad Boys 2, almost instantly, because I was watching on a Sunday while doing laundry, I said, I'll watch fucking Bad Boys 3. I was still in such...
You were in the mode.
It has been so long since I've been able to like fucking root for cops in a movie, let alone like talking about Skittles. They got informants. There's kind of like bad guys in a little way, in as much as like the bad boys get shit done. They're not following protocol. You're a racist, they're gonna grab you by the fucking neck and drag you through. Oh shit, Martin Lawrence got shot in the ass? That's hilarious. So much so that I was now geeked up for fucking more. And I said, let's watch Bad Boys 3. I know it's gonna be disappointing, but it's not Godfather 3 disappointing.
Yeah, but how can it be disappointing if you already know that
that's a fucking good point?
It was not like it was mediocre.
I'll tell you this though. Fucking Bad Boys 3 rules. It is fucking so much.
It rules.
Fucking fun. It is not as good as 1. It is not as good as 2.
So you enjoyed it, the vintage, the retro,
and also
rewatch.
The first 2 movies are Martin Lawrence and Will Smith in their quasi prime. Martin Lawrence gets a little chubbier for Bad Boys 2. Will Smith gets a little more jacked.
He's like a medication and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like, Martin Lawrence has had some stuff.
Bad Boys 3, these motherfuckers got old. There's no hiding that they built in jokes about being like, hey, Will.
It'd be kind of ridiculous to have your 60-year-old action stars no sell their creaking bones.
But you know what it wound up feeling like? Death Wish. It felt like the black cop answer to Death Wish, where I'm like,
Charlie Bronson's Death Wish?
Yes! I was able to like live vicariously through these 2 guys.
Charlie, they made 17 Death Wishes.
That's true.
And there's not a joke in any of them combined.
No, I just more meant that like they don't hide the fact that they're getting older. There's all sorts of like, they get dangerously close to Martin Lawrence being like, get you over this shit. Like Martin Lawrence, since the first movie, has been trying to quit being a cop.
Yeah.
Because he's like, this shit sucks. Like,
I just want to have sex with his wife.
He just wants to fuck his hot wife, and he wants his annoying kids to be a little quieter. He fell asleep on the couch, got a Power Ranger up his ass. Like, there is so much fun.
Charlie's like, I did that all the time.
There's so much fun to be had in Bad Boys 3 with Will Smith's character ignoring the fact that Will is pretending he's not older.
Okay.
And Martin Lawrence is embracing.
And Martin Lawrence has been old since the first one.
And also, he's like, there's this great moment in Bad Boys 3.
Did they finally find the cup holder? I think that's really...
That's why they switched the car. The Ferrari did have cup holders. No back seat, just a couple balls dragging the fuck along. The joy I found in 3, because when they introduce Ammo, which is like Vanessa Hudgens and her friends doing tech, but also kicking ass, because sometimes you gotta do shit old school, John. You can't always use technology. Suddenly, all the shit that I thought was cornball and weak sauce.
Yeah, I'm there.
John, in a 2024 lens, they do a great job of it.
Charlie,
they're busting out drones.
Here's the issue.
To hit me.
Right. You love the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, I went back to the restaurant and it was still fucking great. And I thought about my old last meals and they were better than I thought. Okay. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm legitimately happy for you. Like, I want people to find their joy out there. So Christian also seems to have enjoyed
I
this
think
flick.
he nailed it on the head, though. It just Bad Boys 3 had no business being as good as it was. Now it's 2024.
Did you? This is my question. For you.
Yes.
This is sincere. So you rewatched the trilogy prior,
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, this was a lot better than I remembered." Is
correct.
that a fair
Very
presumption?
fair.
So then you go and you watch the fourth movie,
And I'm nervous as fuck because now I'm ruining a high because I just got Bad Boys 3 now is in the rotation. Maybe not yearly, every other year. And Ellis is saying, is this a case where since most modern movies have been so disappointing that maybe I'm excited about
That's
mediocre?
a legit, like, so if you sit back and you're like, hey, that wasn't so bad.
So I'm now,
that is not a New York Times
correct
splash review.
But now you know me.
I do know you.
One might say I could be negative.
Ah!
I do not like
What?
this.
Ah!
I feel like
Oh my
God!
God!
That's
three. That's three. Everybody at home counting. That is 3 pearl clutches.
I sit down.
Or 1 3-strand clutch.
I sit down and I am shaking in my little comfortable seat.
Your little,
I got my popcorn.
Your little take-home bucket's like,
I'm losing little.
Like, hey, Michael J. Fox, you want to settle down there?
No.
What happened? What?
No.
He loves.
I wish we had a
Bad
DeLorean.
Boys.
I don't like. This has gone nasty.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I then sit down to Bad Boys 4, and I think Christian and I had the same experience. John, the first fucking thing I see is the Miami sign, and the movie gives me a big hug, and it says like "Welcome back," and I go like, "Oh, it's gonna be a nostalgia piece of shit." Then I hear bum 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 bum, and I went, "Yeah, it's gonna be a nostalgia piece of shit." But it's probably one of those pieces of shit I love. Then I hear the roaring engine of a 1998 mint Porsche 911 Turbo ripping down the fucking street. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence dressed to the nines, and they're late for something. And Martin Lawrence, Will, character's name not Will, but you know what I mean. He goes, "Oh, my tum tum."
Oh, character name.
Right away, they go right back into the routine
that
I love. They go to they have food gags. They have poignant moments.
I appreciate that, but is this I guess what I'm really asking is, and Christian, that's a good question. We'll get to it too. What I'm really asking is, if there's a one-trick pony out there, and that one-trick pony is just doing that high kicky flip, butt tuck, and everybody's of the opinion like that's the one thing that this pony can do. And there is one cat's in the back. Yeah, but I love that trick.
Here's what happened. Bad Boys 1.
Yeah.
That pony shows you its tricks. And you go, hot damn. Bad Boys 2. That pony's like, remember that from last time? I'm back, baby. Bad Boys 3 said, let's teach this fucking pony some modern tricks.
Mm-hmm.
And the pony stumbled through them.
Pony's like, I'm little Sebastian.
Do you know
there's only so many tricks? Don't no sell it, you son of a
bitch. I loved it.
It was one of the first things that you streamed, piece of bastard.
Bad Boys 4 said that pony can't do those tricks anymore.
Yeah.
What tricks have we not pulled out that pony can do?
So it's a
a
new bag of tricks.
It's a fucking complete fresh take. They have characters that have been there since Bad Boys 2. I think it is Reggie who takes out Martin Lawrence's daughter.
Yeah, because man, you want to.
Amazing. Top 5 ways you got your new job. John, he's all grown up, and they carry over all these micro plot points into this one. They leave nothing behind, even the inconvenient shit of in Bad Boys 3, they're like, Will Smith has a secret son. That motherfucker's like, what's up? I'm still around. Bad Boys 4 leaned into everything it was, acknowledged what it couldn't be anymore, and then added new shit to bridge the gap. There's no shit. When they turned to Vanessa Hudgens and the other guy from Ammo, there's no these fucking kids. Those kids are 38 now.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is JoJo the tire man in it?
Christopher
Christopher Mosasanti?
JoJo knows tires, but he don't know how to cameo in a movie for less than $1 million. I honestly think they kept this movie. It was $100 fucking million. I can't imagine how much Will and I know that bores you.
Who cares?
Here's why I care. I'm not alone for once. The fucking movie opening weekend made $100 million. People showed up.
Yeah.
And John.
And they didn't show up for legitimately good movies.
Yes. John, laughter, excitement. If I could swap one of my proton packs for a Will Smith costume and not look like a big monster,
I mean, you have enough.
might.
You have enough.
I got silk shirts and shit. I could fucking. You said how naked? Titties out a little bit. John, the Bad Boys 4 in no way is a replacement for Bad Boys 1.
Right.
But my God,
but I don't think anybody would expect
it's almost like they made this fucking tremendous trilogy that doesn't need the first one to live.
Are you saying that's like they made this for fans without placating?
They made it. They made a good fucking movie first.
Yeah.
And then I think they went back and they said they probably had Audi offering them $1 million. And they said, fuck that. Let's bring the Porsche back. They said, fuck that. Let's bring
Mike Lowry only drinks Jolt Cola.
Like they could have.
No, he doesn't.
John, they could have gotten Mr. Beast chocolate money, and it could have been Martin Lawrence just wanting a Mr. Beast bar. John, he goes back for the Skittles. Motherfucker loves his Skittles.
I mean, everybody loves Skittles.
It's delicious. I don't know how that they managed to put a new building up next to the old Bad Boys building. It's not it's not patronizing. It's not disrespectful. The things that they do that are fucking obnoxious are so tiny. There's 2 cameos that I fucking hate, but you could tell what they're doing. They want the kids to fucking recognize some shit. 1 cameo's for us, 1 cameo's for the kids. I don't want fucking either. It was, Christian with the fucking assist. It's like Mission Impossible 4. We're like, what the fuck? We're doing this? Bad Boys 4 can start a new trilogy on its own fucking merits. They managed to have these old as fuck cops be old as fuck cops, and it's still exciting.
Fine, I'll go see it. I'll see the movie. I hope you're happy, Christian. Hope you're happy, Charlie. Hope you're happy, Ellis.
A movie so good, John.
I'll see it. I'll even buy popcorn.
A movie so good, Sony bought a movie theater to probably show the fucking trilogy.
If Sony
they bought the Alamo Drafthouse.
Look, if Sony buys a movie theater, then I'll buy a movie theater. What? Oh,
that's right.
Oh, they did it. They bought a movie theater.
They did it.
All right. I guess I'll see it. Well done. I'll go see the.
Honestly, I would love to live in a world where I was saying, when you go, let me know. I want to go back.
They better not blow you.
There's even a reference to that that's not oddly racist.
You want badges? I'll give you badges.
All right, Ellis isn't wrong. Rocky 4, probably the greatest dynamic switch of all time. Christian, you and I are going to talk about how your boss, I think, led to Sony buying the Alamo Drafthouse. I think if Kevin Smith didn't buy a theater in Jersey, I think Sony wouldn't fucking want to steal that idea. It's good and bad. It's better than the Alamo going away. Christian, let's get together, and that could be I think that could be a Butters topic. So let's definitely get together and chat it over. Let's mourn what we're losing, and let's celebrate what we're getting. Because the Sony era of the Alamo. The only thing I'm getting is poorer because now I have to go buy a ticket to Bad Boys 47. I got a good solution though. Let's pay some fucking bills. Segway! Hey! John, the good news for these beautiful people is we're not sellout pieces of shit. Sony did not pay me for that glowing review of Bad Boys 3, but I would have accepted Bad Boys 4 rather, but I would accept checks. Sony, if you're listening, we're not just going to send you the way of anyone that threw us a couple shekels. We're going to send you to some of our favorite shit. We're going to start off, as usual, with one of our absolute favorite bands, and that, of course, is Bad Mary. You heard them during the intro, and you're going to hear them again at the end of the show. If you're anywhere else you can catch their act, the tour is fully underway. Lots of events planned. You can follow them over at Bad Mary Band across all social media platforms. You can support them over on patreon.com/Bad Mary Band. You can stay up to date at badmary.com for our merch and upcoming performances. My favorite part right now, their entire discography is available across our music streaming services. Hell yes, but that does still leave the question, where we drop in? Where, as always, it's the answer is with Sergeant Finesse. Word. Still doing it to it. He's over on twitch.com. No, he's not.
He is over on
Kick.
kick.com. I mean, he's been everywhere. He's a real streaming hua. He is currently on kick.com, doing it to it. Really just like at this point now, he's like an OG in the game, but he mixes up his games consistently. Very, very entertaining streamer, great guy. Check him out as much as you're able, because it seems like he's always on. Like he is always getting it done. Also, as well as we can't forget our good friends, Jokers_stream_. He does predominantly stream. He is on Twitch. He's the purple guy. He's a cosplayer. He's a Fortniter. He's again a dynamite guy. He's retired, but somehow still working more than freaking ever before. Just Jack Diesel getting it done. Check them both out, especially nowadays. If you're not watching any of the 172 shows on TV or at theaters, this is something else you can watch, just not while you're driving. Check them out.
I like it. And if you go see him, tell him Charlie said, "What's up, Bats?" Bats is the man.
It's embarrassing, bro.
Not the man. I want a Bats plushie.
Nobody,
I just want a plushie Bats.
Nobody likes a groupie.
Hey, you're in my goddamn studio building, peasant. Hit that button for me, boy.
The fuck?
John,
What?
we're at that point in the show
Yes.
where we go from enjoying other people's shit, and we try to convince them
Yeah.
to, frankly, give us their Hollywood money. Do you want to explain to the beautiful people that are tuning in for the first time what this segment's about?
Yeah, it's really simple. This is where we clearly establish that I have all the good ideas that have ever been had, and I'm going to give them away for fucking free. But we're going to pretend that this little lovable monster is willing to pay me for them, even though he's really not.
It's true.
But I don't mind. Because I got something to give, and I'm going to give it one way or the other.
I don't want to be a stickler, but it seems like you mind a little.
Not during the show. Afterwards, I just drive like, why don't I just write some of these down? Son of a bee.
All right, let's get in the elevator. You're going to try to, do you want to give them an intro before we get into it?
Yeah, so we are clearly in the House of Mouse right now. This is one of those executive decision makers who are working for the big man. And I'm going to get him an education, but also give him something super valuable.
This better be all women.
He's going to give me something equally valuable, and that is money to make it happen. So play the music.
Who the fuck are you?
How dare you? let me now tell you. First, let me start with what you and my iPad dad. Perfect.
No.
Well, category off. Fuck it. I know nothing. Let me start by telling you something that you don't know.
I thought we were charging the whole time.
Yeah, we should have been. You're stupid. You're just a rich, big dummy who does not know how to play with the toys in his or her toy chest. And then they go around and they say, yeah, I've got all these great toys.
It's true.
But I'm not going to play with them right now. I want to buy that toy, and I want to buy that toy over there, and I want to pull them all together, and I want to use them very, very little. And when I do use them wrong. So let me start by telling you this, Mr. Man fucking Suit. You own...
I feel like I'm not this aggressive when you're the suit.
You own... you have access to, rather, a relatively new tool in your tool belt.
That's true.
And they're all mutated, unused properly fucking properties. Okay, because if you're not Wolverine,
that's true.
We love not
you got a Wolverine, bitch? Sold. Sold. Wolverine on ice.
Well, that was easy. Yeah. You were lucky enough that Ryan Reynolds insisted. You
got a Deadpool, bitch? Sold.
Oh boy,
Can you make it G?
Boy, did they back up. Can you make it a musical? Actually, yeah, we totally can. You have toys that you're not using, except for member berry juice
True.
in in a vintage cartoon. You've got the X-Men. You have the full dearth
That's true.
of ideas with what to use them
You got an
for.
idea for Ms. Marvel? Is that it?
Matt-
Because she's clearly an she's a
I
mutant.
mean, God bless her. God bless her. But no. What I'm going to pitch to you right now is something that, rather than taking an Avengers approach and throwing 172 characters, which you absolutely do have with the
I
X-Men
do have so many.
and their family.
You want some X-Force?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Don't
Please,
don't
for
even
God's sake, please take Alpha for life.
don't even drag the Morlocks up here, because I will kick those pickle-looking motherfuckers back into the sewer.
What about Space Mutants? You want some Space Mutants?
Listen, just relax.
Okay.
No, Ellis. This is going to be very, very a Dazzler period piece.
Oh.
You know what, Ellis? You and I are going to get together, and we're at least going to fan cast that. No. I want you to do something very, very un-Disney-like and narrow your focus.
Okay.
And I am going to put up on the screen for you, in effect, a buddy action piece. However,
I love buddies and I love action.
now look, people use like buddy cop movies.
That's true.
Buddy, some fill in the blank relationship, buddy firefighter movies, like whatever you want to do.
Noise.
I want to do a 2-character focus piece who also happen to be in the manner of the Winchesters.
Oh.
Or in the manner of Eli Manning and that other guy who occasionally threw a couple of touchdowns, I guess.
Our favorite podcast hosts.
Yeah, clearly we're talking about Peyton. Somebody referred to Peyton Manning as looking like he had, like the X-Men, had evolved into not needing a football helmet anymore, which is just, come on. That is
So mean, but
that is savagely funny.
to be honest, very accurate.
Oh God bless him. Or Jules and Winston. Like, I want a buddy love-hate relationship movie with Cyclops and Havoc. Yeah, I know it says it right on the banner, so no big surprises. This is a dynamite pick poll, by the
Those
way.
of you watching at home, I'm very good at this.
So here's the situation. Now again, I'm gonna educate you, because
All I
know
saw was your eyes look down like you fixed the power. Thank God.
Oh yeah, here it comes. So I'm gonna educate you right now, or as Leguizamo say, educate you.
Yeah.
I realize that as a Disney executive,
Yeah.
you have no fucking idea
What's a
of
Havoc?
who these characters are.
And is it spelled with a C or a K? I can't decide.
You'll find out soon enough.
Illiteracy is cool.
So Cyclops, Scott Summers, as some would say,
Yes.
and Havoc, Alex Summers. They don't just have. No, we're not going to make it a romantic comedy. Polaris need not apply. These two are brothers, but to say that they kind of like grew up independently is a little bit of an understatement, because while Scott, who's probably unnecessarily and incorrectly the one X-Men that gets the least fucking love, and Cyclops is outstanding. Charlie's favorite X-Men.
It's true. But he's my favorite X-Men because he gets all.
I'm pandering a little bit
He
to the
gets
guy
all
with the
the-
checkbook.
Punani.
I mean, listen, he gets all the Panani,
Yeah,
and
so-
also the 5'2"
Yeah.
furry
He
Canadian.
ran out of fucking. He was like, let me find
I
out.
guess he's like, finally, I've run out the list.
Let me see it.
He's like, I guess go ahead, show me the bub. So
Logan, you like smoking cigars, eh?
these the Summers boys.
Holy shit! Can it be named?
They
that?
we might maybe we'll like colon.
Somehow we spell boys with an N.
So these guys did not grow up together, though they have obviously related powers. However, in that vein of like brothers can't really hurt each other, these guys cannot hurt each other with their own relative powers. Cyclops has the sonic, has the optic blast, which most people just by visuals like, oh, he shoots a laser, out of his visor.
Yeah, like,
no, he doesn't.
it's a
And
red-
it's also not like a LeVar Burton in Star Trek visor, like he's not blind. That's Daredevil. No, what he does when he hits you with that blast, it's like being punched in the face by a fucking moving train. All right, it is a physical force. It does not cut you in half. Just for clarity, that's a little something education for the executive. But then his little brother, who has a huge inferiority complex for his big brother, just feels like he's always catching up. Now, this guy at least has a legitimate reason. Mostly, his memory has been Swiss cheesed to the Dickens by Mr. Sinister. He has a terrible back history. So again, where Cyclops was kind of like raised like baby Moses in the fucking pyramids, Havok's like, man, what about me? I can do things too.
Yeah, what about him?
So he was taken away to have his.
I bet his mom didn't even buy him a car.
He's allergic to peanuts and
wait a minute,
milk. It's terrible.
If you also cast the fat guy's Havoc, I'm in.
So Havoc is going to be played by Horatio Sands. We're going to go a different direction.
Everyone's like, which one of you is older? Fucking gray-haired bitch. You know what? Fuck this movie.
Cyclops has a shut this like class of 1984, and the Havoc has a show like yesterday graduation.
Yeah, I love how you were like, I'm not even gonna use the year.
Nah,
He's so
you don't need a number.
Indiscriminately young.
It's just like a T-shirt you get put out there every single year. So this is how I wanted to start. This is the actual.
Your
story.
iPad's back up, by the way, if you need your quick notes. Nice, my man.
So here we are, and we're going to open on a knockdown, drag out bar fight.
Ooh.
Right? But unlike the typical bar fights out there,
someone's like,
no. What happens is people are fucking taking off for the hills.
Oh shit!
Right? It is not one of those like cowboy movie. Everybody starts throwing up.
It's not Roadhouse,
and they're like, "Oh, we're really fighting over here. Big things going on." No, like the bar's getting ripped to shreds. Things, chairs crashing, windows, being shattered, and all that jazz. But people are taking off because they want no part of what's going on. This is clearly two mutants.
Oh,
just knockdown, drag out fight.
Goddamn muties.
The problem, though, is the benefit that we mentioned before. These two jabronis, they cannot hurt each other with their powers. So you're seeing like you're basically seeing a live action version of the Danger Room where people are going all out, and there are effects, but they're not getting hurt. They're like having a Nerf gun battle.
Amazing.
All right. So that's how
Xavier rolls by with a cup of water. Splash.
This is how knock it off. So this is how the movie starts, and this is a lengthy scene. Nice. To the point where like credits, really in the Deadpool style. Like you see a credit, somebody goes into it and it shatters into a million pieces.
Amazing.
A cup with a credit gets knocked over, like all that jazz. All right, super great. This plays out.
Thank you for letting me know.
And then from the outside, like an outside shot, you see an over the bar perspective. Maybe you see, Scott or get thrown out, and then you're like, well, that's a good shot. Except now you're coming down. It turns out that it is indeed the X-plane, looking like a Lockheed Martin fucking spy plane. Fine. Carries one person, but the whole team fits in now. That's cool. So this comes down. We're gonna get Professor X rolling out and throws water on them.
Nice.
He comes out and he literally stops them.
With his mind powers.
And Cyclops is like, yeah, well, we can't really hurt each other. And Professor X is like, no, you can only hurt our reputation. And now they're both
a good dad line.
And now they're just like,
Scott did not sleep that night.
No. There was no soothing him by a smoking hot redhead that night.
Or her clone.
So they just
who dresses like a hua, God bless.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. So
the whore is better than
they drop their head, they walk into the plane, and they fly away back to fucking upstate New York.
I love how you were like the fucking interesting place of upstate New York to where we live.
So these two are legitimately pissed at each other, right? And they're kind of like like a little attitude, not talking to each other, whatever the case might be. Now, I do not need 52 X-Men or their licenses in order to make this flick. It's all implied, right? So with everything that's going on in the world, in their little Xavier Mansion world, it's really just about them too.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna see like off conversations happening with people off screen and little barbs and what have you, and they're not really communicating with each other. They were legitimately pissed. And if you follow the comics at all, you know that
feeling.
they have a really rocky relationship. It's I don't know, maybe love hate is too strong, but it's love / fucking annoyed by relationship.
If you had Havoc's costume and Scott had his sweet costume,
Yeah,
you would
but
also be pissy.
here's the problem.
Like you have that hat. I want that hat.
So the hat's great. Cyclops has had multiple costumes, but Charlie, that's exactly what they are. They're a costume.
Oh yeah.
Everybody shits on Superman's red undies. What the fuck is up with his yellow undies? Is he a bedwetter? Come on, Cyclops.
Wait a fucking second here.
Never mind. Like the
grow my hair. Seamstress.
Grow my hair long.
If your hair was that loving and flowy, you wouldn't fucking.
Bro, come on, man. Come on.
Is it still brown?
So, as far as you know.
Oh shit! Just for Cyclops.
So here we are. So again, they're annoyed, but they're keeping it.
Yes, they're still.
Now,
still X-Men.
There are differences. The costume. Anyone who's unfamiliar with why Havoc's costume looks like a fucking the cheapest zebra print that's ever been sold. Unlike Cyclops, eye blast, Havoc's, it goes throughout his entire body, right? So he takes this inbound energy and he converts it, and he's like, "Ooh!" through his fucking arms, like a boom, and he shoots it out. Now he's consistently adding ammo, to the gun, so to speak. His suit, in effect, shows him how many rounds he has to maintain that analogy. So it's utilitarian. Like it's, he uses it. He wears that costume because he needs to know what he's got, so to speak. And that goes way really back to day one when he was in the fucking in the lab before he was adopted out. And meanwhile, Cyclops is becoming like a world famous.
You can tell by the way I do.
He got his redhead on his arm and stuff like that. So, but they don't want a bad relationship, right? And they snipe back and forth, because again, it really is like the Winchesters. That was my motivation for living.
11 seasons.
So they're kind of like both doing their thing, and I do want Jean in this.
Yeah, you
because
do.
I do want that conversation of, when are you going to tell him, right?
Oh shit!
And he's like, well, he's hard to talk to, and blah blah. Is it because he's so much like you, this and the other thing, like you were younger? And because again, Jean Grey and Scott, they came up, they grew up together, which is a little gross. Not that gross.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So
between the two of them, they have 40 abs. Like, I get it.
The implication is that, like, as his younger brother, he's more like his older brother than really either of them care to admit.
Yeah.
So he's
because of the implication.
Because you're out there on the ocean. So he says, finally, Scott, being the older, bigger man, he approaches. Approaches his brother. And he's like, we really should talk. And it turns out, oh god, he's got the not Game of Thrones. I'll leave it there.
We're on the top floor, but I'm fucking riveted.
Yeah, no. It's fine. So there's also been a lot of offshoots.
That's true.
So he's gonna give the information about Mr. Sinister.
Okay.
So Mr. Sinister is our
Scott's
big band.
telling Havoc.
Scott's telling Alex. And see, the problem is though, Charlie, that Professor X has other plans for his talent, so to speak. Right. So if you find out that somebody in the Yankees did your family dirty, you want to play them immediately, not later in the season, potentially when it may come up. Like, let's get to the World Series, then you can play them. No. So these two brothers who seem to have less in common than basically on the same page, they decide, well, Alex wants to go. Right? Havoc's like, I'm fucking going, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're kind of like,
you're not my dad, Scott!
That knee jerk fucking Luke, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go right now. Yo, it's like
Arms flailing.
Fuck, we are. So
I'm gonna bring my lightsaber to this fight.
So Havoc sneaks out, right? Scott, he can't sleep. He's sitting there with a glass of milk at the kitchen table.
His bag all empty.
He sees where the milk come from. He sees that his brother and kid's on thin ice already. So he tries to talk him out of it. At first, I wouldn't have told you if I thought this was going to be your reaction. When are you going to grow up? Like that same brother conversation, which we know at this point.
I fucking have heard it a lot.
I mean, you burned it. Like that conversation that has been had. So again, I'll shorten it because I know now we're like through the roof at this point.
I like it.
So Scott inevitably he's like, well, if you're gonna go, you're not gonna go alone. That type of action. He goes with him, and then we have kind of to a degree because they can't take a fucking jet, and they want to stay relatively, off the radar. It's almost like a road trip movie. So you get the conversations, you get the little side.
Chief from the cartoon.
All right, that's fine. You get the side quests and things that they have to do to get where they're going, and obviously, Mr. Sinister is the big bad. Now, when they do finally interact with him in that third act, he is fucking all over them, dude. It's like Apollo's fight with Drago type of thing. He is just fucking them up left, right, and upside down, and we're going to get that moment where every logical comic book fan has gotten to at some point or another with these two brother characters whose power structures are so similar. We are going to get the holiest of holies, where Scott is going to blast his brother square in the chest with his power, which supercharges Havoc's power, and we in effect get like the X-Men version of the Death Star, just cadoos through his chest.
They're gonna Hadouken this
They Hadouken this poor bastard. I look like Cyclops, but I'm not Cyclops. Goes fucking into tomorrow. Like if this was a comic, he'd go 7 pages down the road, and we're gonna get that. Friends become enemies, enemies become friends type of moments where these two brother characters are going to walk out of the back end of it as closer than they've ever been. We're going to learn things that we did not learn about because it will be detail specific, which frankly, when you have a team dynamic story that you're telling, it's the math just isn't there unless you say Wolverine and the X-Men and everything about Wolverine and nothing about anybody else. That's not the case here. I do love the in media res of it all when you jump into the middle of a story and things have been established and where's Beast and his evolution and all that stuff, but it's completely secondary. So you might stroll right back like, oh, he's not quite furry yet, and little things like that, but they just move on. Like they move on.
They're like, man, no one cares. Like I care.
If you know, because that's not the story that we're telling right now. And I think honestly, with these large casts of characters, that's the only way. It's the only way to really do it. And then what's going to inevitably happen is, I'm like, what's up with the guy with the tail and the pointy ears and blah blah, like that. That's what happens. And then they'll inform you. The audience is never wrong. They will tell you, this is what I know about. I want this story, that story.
I gotta tell you,
they're singular stories.
You know what I love about it is this is like a real vehicle for me to sell toys because
it's toyetic.
What a lot of people forget is that Star Wars, the human characters never sold nearly as well as the alien characters. So it's like, if this is a way, I'm just spitballing, if we do a 3 3/4 X-Men line, it's great that we're doing the Cyclops and Havoc tag on it around the time the movie comes. But like, I want that first wave to have, we're gonna have Mr. Sinister, of course we're gonna have Scott and Havoc, but like, let's have Nightcrawler, let's have a fucking Morlock, like let's use this to Star Wars this motherfucker.
Especially when you're getting those secondary characters as secondary
but
characters.
That's what I mean, is
so
like
you're gonna get a Nightcrawler in basketball shorts.
Yeah.
A fucking smoking robe or whatever they call them. So as far as your toys, bro, we're selling
saying, it just gives me an opportunity.
Of your toys.
Now here's I have a couple logistic questions. But obviously I love the feel of this. Havoc's power is normally like bluish white in the comic books. Are we sticking with that visually?
I don't see any reason why not.
And
unless
when
you
Scott
need it to be something different.
when Scott hits him before the sonic boom, is like the power that's gonna come out, like it can be blended, red and blue, red and white.
Well, if you consider that Havoc's power is like bluish white,
Yeah,
and Cyclops blasts are red,
yeah.
then what we're gonna end up with is a purple energy beam.
Love it.
That's the
I love
color
that
wheel.
so much. I want to punch it in
That's
the ear.
color wheel.
What are they rocking on this road trip? Are they in like plain clothes and Scott has a visor? Like, obviously, again, I hate to be this toy guy. Obviously, at some point we see them in their suits. But like bulk of this film, is it regular clothes with like? Does Havoc have like a headpiece that he wears? Like Scott needs his little goggles. Do we have a look in mind? Well, is it a to be determined? But something.
Keeping in mind that Scott's powers they still need to be at this point kind of contained.
Correct.
So the goggles instead of just the red glasses, but you don't wear goggles to bed even when you're,
of course,
married to a smoke show. I would say Havoc sneaking out of the house, out of the mansion, he's geared up because he's outfit. Like he's going to do some shit.
I love that in a trench coat.
Cyclops,
that guy.
But it's things trench coat, so it's like huge. Whereas Cyclops was like sitting at the kitchen table, so he might not even be wearing fucking shoes when he chases them out. And those like super mansions, those are gravel drivers. She's like, ooh, I wish I could.
I could fight a sentinel, but Jesus Christ, my toes.
So he's not, but because it's Cyclops' whip that they end up with,
nice.
He's got his fucking to go gear on him. So eventually, they absolutely.
Because I love
the casual moments.
I love the idea of like,
and also when they get where they're going, it's mission time.
Am I the only one that like? I love a casual dressed hero having to do some shit.
You're not the only one.
I love it,
but yeah, the percentages do get small.
I think it's because I like super love when they're in full costume. But in the era of Deadpool, where it's like he spends that whole runtime, the best part of the Deadpool movie is when he's like in the bottoms and then he has like a
fluffy slipper,
girls tank top,
or fucking the Doris t-shirts and stuff like that.
Because like the one gag I almost insist upon, but I don't really insist upon it. We can get rid of it, but if there's room for it at some point, they have to buy fucking clothes at a gas station for Havoc, and it's just a terrible fucking t-shirt and sweatpants. I would just love it. I just love shit like that. But no, you have
like some terrible sideshow attraction.
Yeah,
like the Harrisburg Caves.
I don't know when we're basing this. Maybe he has to wind up in a like Cyclops was right t-shirt. Like he used Scott's extra shirts, and Scott for the pickup basketball game got his whole team Scott was right shirts.
The timeline is interesting because I would like to reference other things in the larger MCU, without like having to show them. But like I survived the alien invasion of New York City.
Yes.
Like I was just lousy t-shirts.
I love it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Fucking sold,
baby.
I love it. I love it. Oh man, I do love Ellis throwing out a pitch. I have an alternate pitch. Wolverine and Jubilee open up a brothel for mutants. We call it Sex Men. I don't know if I can get that past the lawyers, but I will.
Charlie has also definitely seen that.
Well, This Ain't X-Men has been on constant rotation in my life. John, there is only first and first, mostly thank you for this wonderful Thursday episode.
Thank you.
Like a real shot of adrenaline to the heart. But there's only one way that we end each and every episode of US Comics. John, I'm going to tell the people. I need you to show it. First, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. All that obvious shit you should do. Tell a friend. Help us get the views up. Help us make some dreams a reality. But first, you got to turn the power on. Then you got to tune Bad Mary and open up the window wide and scream out into the night sky. Same as my girl. We out.